Top 10 Tourist Attractions in Seattle. Set in one of the most scenic spots of any city in the States, Seattle is located on a narrow isthmus in between the shimmering waters of Puget Sound and Lake Washington. Surrounded by vast forests and snow-capped mountains, it is fittingly nicknamed the Emerald City. It has a plethora of parks also to be found peppering its skyscraper-studded center and multitude of diverse neighborhoods. 10. Woodland Park Zoo. When in town, a very popular place to visit is the award-winning Woodland Park Zoo, which is home to an astounding array of animals from all around the world. Located right next to Green Lake Park in north-central Seattle, its sprawling site has countless naturalistic exhibits for you to explore. Since starting out as a small menagerie over 100 years ago, the zoo's collection has expanded considerably and now includes over 300 different species. As well as jaguars and grizzlies, you can spot Malayan tigers, gorillas, and Indian rhinos, with exotic birds and creepy crawlies also on show. 9. Kerry Park. Despite its tiny size, Kerry Park boasts the most iconic view of the city from its setting on the south slope of Queen Anne Hill. From its prominent hillside, visitors can gaze out over downtown Seattle, the Space Needle, and Elliott Bay, with the mighty Mount Rainier to be spied rising up dramatically in the background on clear days. Besides basking in its beauty and snapping photo after photo of its spectacular sunsets, there is also the interesting abstract changing form sculpture to check out. 8. Chihuly Garden and Glass. Lying almost at the foot of the Space Needle is another of the city's major attractions, the Chihuly Garden and Glass. Offering up a fascinating insight into the life and work of Dale Chihuly, a local sculptor, its galleries are full of the world-renowned artist's colorful and creative glass sculptures. Since opening in 2012 in the Seattle Center, the astonishing exhibition has been a firm favorite of locals and tourists alike. While wandering around the Situm, you'll come across gorgeous glassworks in all different sizes, shapes, and colors, with the light-filled glasshouse and its arresting installation being its undoubted highlight. 7. Museum of Pop Culture. Contemporary pop culture stars at the Mopop Museum, which combines music and sci-fi into a most unique experience. Founded in 2000 by Paul Allen, Microsoft's co-founder, the museum offers Battle of the Band competitions, film festivals, and changing exhibits that frequently go on the road, around the United States and around the world. The Museum of Pop Culture includes hands-on activities, rare artifacts from the pop music world, and a sculpture made from more than 500 guitars. 6. Washington State Ferries. If you're after a quintessential Seattle experience, then you can't beat crossing the Puget Sound on one of the Washington State ferries. While the big boats connect residents and commuters alike to the countless communities and islands that lie nearby, tourists too will enjoy the scenic ride due to the phenomenal views on offer. Numbering over 20 in total, the largest fleet of ferries in the States take visitors from Seattle to places such as Bainbridge Island, Port Townsend, and Vashon Island. Along the way, you can bask in beautiful views of not just the Puget Sound and Olympic Mountains but also the city's skyline and its surroundings behind you. 5. Ballard Locks. The Hiram M. Chittenden Locks are a beehive of activity on hot days as boats of all types transfer from the salty Puget Sound to the freshwater lakes of Washington and Union. Known locally as the Ballard Locks for the Seattle neighborhood they're found in, the locks were named after Hiram Chittenden, a major with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in the early 1900s. The locks opened in 1917. The facility also includes the Carl English Botanical Garden and fish ladders. 4. Museum of Flight. The Museum of Flight is the largest private air and space museum in the world. The museum is home to vintage planes that have flown in wars, a retired Air Force One jet, and a space shuttle exhibit. Located at King County International Airport, known locally as Boeing Field, the museum features an interactive air traffic control tower exhibit. 3. Boeing Factory. Travelers who aspire to build their own airplanes or who just want to learn more about how planes are manufactured definitely will want to tour the Boeing Factory, where 747s, 777s, and the 787s, Dreamliner, are made. Operated by the Future of Flight Aviation Center, these are the only tours of commercial airplane factories offered in North America. Besides touring the factory at Payne Field, visitors get an opportunity to design their own planes. 2. Pike Place Market. Pike Place Market got its start in the early 1900s when housewives revolted against rising prices of onions in grocery stores. Today, it's one of the biggest tourist draws not only in Seattle, but also Washington State. Gorgeous fresh produce looks like it might have been arranged by an artist. Fish fly through the air as fishmongers toss it from icy trays to the wrapping stand. 1. Space Needle. Built for the 1962 Seattle World's Fair, the Space Needle has come to symbolize the Emerald City more than anything else. A revolving observation tower sits at 520 feet above the ground, offering ever-changing views of Seattle for miles around, including Puget Sound and the far-off Olympic Mountains. Sunset is a good time to ride the elevator, which climbs at the speed of 10 miles per hour, to the top to see a twinkling Seattle below.